Hi, this is Mr. Wetzel, and this is my show and tell video. So ever since I was little, I've been artistically inclined. I've got drawers full of old sketchbooks and tracing paper. I've got a box somewhere full of little sculptures that I made out of air-dry modeling clay. But when I got into high school, I started learning Photoshop and video production, and as a result, a lot of my projects since then have been more digital in nature, sort of like what you're watching right now. There are times, though, where I do find myself craving a more tangible project to work on, a little art piece or something that I can actually really hold and that actually takes up some space. And thankfully, one of my dad's pastimes is woodworking, so I grew up always having access to power tools and materials and somebody who knew how to do stuff with those things. Eventually, I started learning how to do a lot of it myself, and I want to show you one of those projects that I've worked on. Isn't it nice? This is a replica shield I started making a while back. It is based on a design from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And I want to tell you a little bit about how I made this. So the idea for this project came to me when I was sorting through a bit of scrap wood, and I happened upon a few wooden discs left over from some marching band props that my dad had once helped build. Perfect shield size, I thought. So next, I scrolled through a list of shields from Breath of the Wild to pick out the ones that would fit this round shape. I chose this twin serpent design firstly because it looks cool, and its colors were simpler than some of the others. Next, I found a good image and used Photoshop to lay a grid over it for reference. Then I traced the grid onto one of the discs and used it to guide me as I copied out the pattern from the image square by square. Then I took a little rotary tool and etched along what I had drawn. The original design is just a flat image. It doesn't have this sort of dimensionality to it, but I liked the little bit of depth that the etching added. Plus, I had the tools, so why not? After that came a base layer of brown paint, a few layers of beige for the body segments, and then some black to outline everything and have it pop a little bit more. Then, to add to this sort of older, weathered kind of look, I thinned out some of the brown paint and kind of lightly brushed it over certain places to make it look like it was properly aged. If you can't tell, I'm very proud of how this turned out. I might go back at some point in the future and maybe cut some foam to kind of replicate the metal banding that would go around the edge of the shield. I do not plan on putting a handle or straps or anything on it like that. I never intended this to be wearable necessarily. I might put some hooks on the back though in the future if I ever decide I really want to hang it up as a proper art piece. But that does it for my show and tell video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little arts and crafts story, and I hope whatever subject you choose, you have as much fun making your video as I've had making mine. See you next time.